Welcome to Chaotic Harmony. My name is John.
This is Crystal.
I'm Mark.
I'm Zoe.
We talk about the joys and the challenges of teaching music in the elementary school classroom. We share inspiration, we share struggles, we brainstorm solutions. We would love to have you join us. Welcome to a new year of Chaotic Harmony.
Yeah.
Yay! And we're so thrilled to have not just the four of us here, but Maya Diaz.
Yay.
Hi,
Thank
Maya.
you all for having me here today.
Thanks for coming. Maya is, we're thrilled to have her because she's one of the original music teachers of Chula Vista Elementary School District's revitalization. So she's been here for one of the longest. How long have you been working with the district?
Actually, it's my 6th year teaching here in the district. So,
and you started out with
started
with the Youth Symphony.
Yes.
Coming in. Okay.
Yes.
And you were just telling us that you founded a rather extraordinary number of these programs. How many did you pilot?
I actually taught 4 of the pilot programs. One at Harborside Elementary and at Rice Elementary and Hilltop and Casillas.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 schools.
Yes.
And they all have full-time music teachers
They do.
now. in the
Now.
schools.
They do.
That's so
Yes.
cool.
So well done, friend.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sowing the seeds.
Yes.
exactly. So I'm just really excited to have you and to hear more of your backstory because I don't know anything. So,
Who are you?
yeah, who are you?
What are you
Maya?
doing in this
We
household?
know you, but we don't know you.
I know.
Ooh.
It's
Well,
true.
So background check.
I guess we're
Yeah,
about
tell
to
us
get
about
real.
yourself. Tell us about yourself. I mean, we can kind of look at it through like the music lens or whatever you want to say, but how did Maya Diaz grow up?
Well, I'm Maya, and
Hi, Maya.
as I mentioned, it's my 6th year teaching in the district. Right now, I'm a general and instrumental music teacher at Palomar Elementary School. I was teaching full-time until about recently. I'm teaching part-time to spend a little bit more time with family because I just had a daughter. Well, she's almost 2. So I'm hoping to get back into full-time soon, I hope. But I guess things started with the Youth Symphony. I was actually a teaching artist there for a few years before we kind of segued into the district. And I started with the Youth Symphony in about 2011. I think you guys mentioned Emmanuel Soto several times. He's actually the one who contacted me and said, hey, the Youth Symphony is looking for some violin teachers. And I had just graduated from SDSU with my bachelor's in music ed. So this was my first real teaching job. And it was rough.
Yeah. Was it with the Opus program?
Yes.
Okay, so after school stuff.
After school, so I was teaching, I was actually the lead teaching artist at Harborside and Rice.
Okay.
It was the Community Opus Project 2nd year. And things were going pretty quickly. You know, we had a lot of growing pains with that and just kind of navigating how to bring music back to these pretty, I guess, high-risk population of students. That was really tricky, but I had some really great colleagues that I've worked with. I taught alongside Christina Pacheco and Abe Liebhaber, who's a great cello teacher. So
What was tough about it?
it was tough. You know, it wasn't the tough parts were actually not about teaching music.
Okay.
It was a lot of behavior management.
Yeah.
You know, coaxing kids out from under the tables. We had I was working with a lot of students who had experienced trauma, and it made it really difficult to structure instruction time with the students. And I found that I was actually spending a lot of time dealing with behavior than really getting into teaching violin. And so that was kind of rough. But I learned so much from that experience. But that was the first time where I felt like, did I make the right choice?
Yeah.
Oh, in a career. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, this was not what I thought it was going to be. It was much harder. And it was just after school.
Yeah.
Twice a week. Each school site met twice a week for 2 hours.
How many kids did you have in your class?
I think we maxed out at, between 20 and 30.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And,
Wow,
you
with
know,
just you in there?
A lot.
well, I was co-teaching, so
Okay.
there was always someone else with me, and we would kind of either split instructional time, or
That's what I thought.
one of us would take sectionals or things like that.
I mean, I know that's what we have like on a given day, but that just surprised me for a second for an after school program. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the need was so great and there was
Yeah.
a lot of interest, and we didn't want to turn any students away, but we did have to cap it because at the time SDYS was trying to figure out how we're going to acquire all these instruments.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
you guys mentioned in episode 0, Lauren Shelton mentioned we went from 75 students to about 250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
In the second year.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so we didn't have all the instruments that we needed right away. So the students actually made paper instruments.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So we had that for maybe about 2 months until the instruments finally came. So,
All right.
Made
it was
paper,
rough.
right?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, paper mache violins.
There we go.
I'm like getting goosebumps though, because like you're talking about the very beginning, and
Oh, yeah.
like, but some of those students I know a couple from Lauterbach and Rice that are like juniors and seniors in high school now, and
Yes.
are amazing musicians that are like traveling all over the country, that are just doing incredible things. It's like,
Full ride scholarships.
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
so cool.
It's so amazing. And I know you work with the Yandel sisters. I
Yeah.
mean, they were in my program at Rice for while I was still there. So I'm just, wow. Yeah. It's amazing how far it's come.
Oh my goodness.
So you had mentioned, I just want to pick your brain a little bit about classroom management, because I know for me that's something I'm always looking to try to improve on. What were some things that you tried, that you learned, that you may have stolen from colleagues? Because I imagine a first year teacher with a second year program with 30 kids, like brand new to instruments, like there are a lot of things that could go one way or another.
Yes.
And so like, what did you find that worked, or what were things that you would want to try now that you know?
I think I tried too many things at once.
Sure.
And I didn't really have, enough experience to know which things I should be using. And what made it easier was really just getting to know the students and finding out what their needs were first. So I came in with all these ideas, and then, barely any of it worked because it wasn't catered to this specific group of students. So things got a lot easier once I got to know them a bit better. We had things like pocket charts and things that I'd seen before that didn't really work. I mean, it was an after-school program. These kids had gone through a whole day of academic instruction. They were tired.
Yeah. After school restraint collapse. Yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah, totally. But a lot of it was just, what really worked was talking to the students individually if someone was having an issue. And I think just building that relationship, that's the number one thing I found that works the most. And you'll have your expectations and things posted and you hold them to it, but as we know, certain students need a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you don't know until you really get to know them. So just building relationships, I think that's what really worked for me.
I remember being completely overwhelmed the first time I had to teach any new instrument or any new thing, just at the things that you don't think about that you have to teach. Like you can't pick a violin up by the strings. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it's like you just have to backpedal with a kid who's never seen an instrument
That's
before.
not how you pick it
That's
up.
not good. Zoe, can you confirm that?
And it's like, not only do I have to get you out from under the table and convince you that I'm a safe grown-up,
Yes.
and you can trust me, but I have to teach you how to like hold this thing so that it doesn't, so this $800 instrument doesn't go crash into the ground that
Yes.
we wrote a grant for, and I poured blood, sweat, and tears into putting into your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It's difficult.
It is.
But I've read a lot of quotes and things that people have said, like, well, if you can't teach them today, you can at least love them today, and we can try again tomorrow. But I find that's a lot of what my students need. I mean, in my current position, I do work with a lot of students that have experienced trauma. So that experience from years ago in Opus, it still rings true today, that building those relationships. I'm going to ask this student to do something on an instrument, but first we have to build that trust, that relationship. Like, this is a safe place. I'm here to help, not just musically, but whenever you need it. Like, this is a safe place. So yeah.
I've heard from friends that in order to get to people to try something like completely brand new, they need lots of nudges. And so I think the number was like 20 or 25, like just 25 nudges into whatever it is that you want that person to do. And then they might be open to doing it. And so it's just kind of like that, what you said, if you can't teach them today, you can love them today. It's just like, that's just one of those little nudges of like, okay, we'll get there.
And being consistent too. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
just
Sure.
keep trying, and hopefully after 20 nudges, the 21st will be it.
Yeah.
Dude, but like if we're only seeing kids once a week, that's half the school year.
Yeah, totally. And
that's a good way to frame it, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes that's how it is. I mean, we have the ability to see our students year after year, and sometimes it takes a year to really get to that student.
Yeah.
But it's that consistency that really helps.
I have a student like that. Last year he was a 4th grader, and this year he's a 5th grader. And last year there's a lot of problems, just behaviorally. He was uninterested. He just wanted to sit and draw in the back. And so I don't know what's happened, but this year it's a complete 180. He's one of my most engaged students. Like, he's super into learning. He's in my band. He's learning saxophone, and like he's just open and just like a sponge. And it was just one of those things where you just keep nudging and you keep hoping, like, all right, well, we'll see how this goes. And the next year, just completely different student. I wouldn't have ever, like, if you had compared the two, you wouldn't have thought it was the same kid.
Mm-hmm. Do you have somebody that stands out in your mind that turned a corner for you?
I think
that made you come back for year 2.
As far as Opus goes, I mean, that was a long time ago. There were a lot of students that they still showed up. If they were willing to keep showing up, I wanted to keep showing up for them. So I toughed it out, but I'll admit there were times that I'd have to prep myself in my car, sometimes with tears, sometimes without.
Yes.
But after you get that out,
I think we need to talk more about car crying, especially the first couple years of teaching.
Ooh, yeah.
It's okay.
It totally is.
Do it. Yeah. This is the time of year that I've been talking to 3 first-year teachers who are just kind of down in the dumps right now. Like, they're in that place that you were just talking about. Like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. But I know that if they tough it out for another semester, hope is around the corner in about 2 months. So I'm just wondering, like, what helped pull you through and keep you going?
I guess I just really had a strong desire to help these students, or just I felt like I could do something. And if nobody else was going to do it, who was going to do it? Like, who better than me, I suppose. I just thought I had to do it. Like, it was calling to me. It was difficult, you know, but I think I talked a lot with my husband about it, and my uncertainties, and he really kind of helped guide my thoughts and say, it's going to be okay. Like, you're here for a reason. So that was really helpful to just kind of talk about it. But there weren't a lot of us at the time. And because we were all at different sites, there were, we didn't have
the community.
Yeah. And even now it's still kind of the same, that we usually only see each other during our teacher meetings.
Once a month.
Yeah, once a month. But just kind of keeping in contact with other teachers and just knowing that we're all experiencing the same kinds of issues, and that really helps bring it all back. It's like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Maya, thanks for hanging in there and being perseverant, because that's just so inspirational to me to hear that part of the story. And I'm thinking about so many students now that have gotten to Ovation and the Youth Symphony. What a journey, and you were there from the beginning, so thank you
for got to pass the baton on to some really great teaching artists who kept it going.
Your turn. Can I backtrack a little bit?
Sure.
What's your primary instrument?
My primary instrument is violin.
Okay.
I actually started violin studies in 5th grade.
Okay. In school?
In school, yeah. It was a pull-out program. Mrs. Beverly Tesh, my very first violin teacher, she actually still works in the San Diego Unified School District, volunteering at my former junior high and high school. So she's still around, and it's great. Occasionally I'll play with her in the Tifereth Israel Community Orchestra, because she'll invite me back. She's a member of that and has been for a very long time. So
you're a San Diego girl.
Yeah. So I didn't actually grow up in Chula Vista. Moved down to Chula Vista about 10 years ago.
Okay.
A little over 10 years ago. So working in this new district was it was different, but I found not so different from the schools that I went to, actually. So different and not at the same
But
time.
you grew up in San Diego then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because a lot of us came from all over.
Yeah. Which
you-
is kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Did you have elementary music?
So I didn't have general music. My first musical experience was really in 5th grade.
Okay.
When Mrs. Tesh came in to our auditorium with a bunch of instruments from trumpets, and then finally she brought out the violin. And it was just the most amazing thing. If I think about it, that's probably the first time I've ever heard a violin
Wow.
live.
Really?
Yeah.
For the first, yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
My family moved around a lot because my dad was in the Navy.
Sure.
So I didn't actually settle into a school until I was about 3rd grade. And that was in
Okay.
San Diego. So, I didn't really have musical experiences at school. However, my mom does sing and play guitar. So, I mean, I've been exposed to music since I was a young kid.
Sure.
But yeah, the violin was the one that got me. And
Yeah.
I went home and I said, "Hey, Mom and Dad, can I learn how to play the violin?" And they actually brought me to a local music store and they got me a violin. It was a rent-to-own program, but like I was just amazed that they were like, "Yeah, let's go get you an instrument."
cool.
Like, really? Yeah, it was awesome. So I have them to thank for that support, just being like, "Yeah, let's do it," because it's pretty much how everything started.
Yeah.
Do you know
That's
for a while that you wanted to be in music education? Like, when did that flip?
Ooh, I didn't actually. I was undeclared for quite some time, to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
No judgment?
College was a little
Yeah,
rough.
no
College.
whatsoever.
College.
College was rough. When I started at SDSU, I was actually undeclared for a couple of years. I even took a couple semesters off after that because I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. I mean, I knew I wanted to help people somehow, and I knew I loved music, so I mean, it just kind of made sense that, hey, let's put 2 and 2 together. And luckily, SDSU had a music ed program, and I auditioned, and I got in. And, it was a great experience. And that's kind of how that took off.
Yeah.
It just kind of fell together, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love that you took time and like you didn't rush into a major that you would later regret.
Yeah.
Like I think with incoming college freshmen and stuff, there's all this pressure of like you need to have a major, you need to know what you do, and if you don't do it in the 4 years, like you failed.
Yeah.
But the fact that you've been able to, you took time off, you gathered your thoughts, you figured out what you wanted to do, and now I think you're a great music teacher and like you're doing a wonderful job. You've started programs and you have kids who are just excelling. Like that's great that you took that time and really just figured out what you wanted to do. So I commend
Thank
for
you.
that. Yeah.
It's really nice to hear that because, at the time we're like, well, everybody's graduating and I'm
right.
still trying to figure it out. Is this the right path?
Pressures of just getting it done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
totally.
just taking your time to do what you feel called to do. Like
right.
that's more important than getting it done in 4 years and having a degree by 22.
Yeah.
Having a paper, yeah.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to share, like a story that sticks out, or a teacher that you want to give a shout out to?
Nuggets of wisdom.
Yeah. Funny kid quote. Those are always good.
Oh, gosh. I mean, this year especially, and I don't know if it's because I've always been part-time because when I actually first started at the district, I was teaching at 2 schools. So I was doing the whole 2 days here and then 2 days at the other school. And then that Friday was kind of rotating. So it was
Yeah.
really funky.
Oh, man.
But this year especially, I just have a lot of students who keep coming into my room on their free time. And since I'm only there twice a week, it's like I can't say no. I'm like, I'm in here anyway, guys, but I just keep hearing this is my happy place. And like and I'm like, me too. It totally is. And sometimes I'll take time to just play along with my students while they're in there practicing, like because it's good for me too.
Yeah.
You know, we need that time to just play, not as a teacher, but just as a musician, you know, and with your students. I think that's
Right.
pretty awesome.
It's so easy to get caught up in the I have to get all these things done mindset.
Yeah.
So like taking time to remember that, this is about joy and play
Yes.
first.
I know it's hard, but if you think about it, all those other things, they're always going to be there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never ends.
Yeah, it's true. It never does. And I was talking to a general classroom teacher about this, about how, you can keep yourself at work until 10 o'clock at night. But, she was saying as a second grade teacher, the teachers who stay until 7 every night don't have any higher test scores than the teachers who leave at 4.
And yeah,
I know. Yeah. And I was like, well, and I could probably make the same argument for the quality of the music program, that I could build. It's like, there's always going to be things to do, but balance is a thing. How have you navigated that now that you've got your daughter and you've got your family?
It's been rough. I'm still learning. I'm still learning, honestly. I mean, I will say that when I first started in the district, I was really ramped up. I'm like, this is it. I'm finally a certified music teacher, and I'm going to do this. But then, I experienced some personal loss, and ever since then, I'll be honest, I think my first year teaching was actually the first year that I was physically there the entire year.
Okay.
Because of some the following years I had some surgeries, so I'd been out every single year for at least 4 weeks since then. So I think this 6th year will probably be the first year since then that I'll be at that school site for like the entire year.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of rough, kind of growing my programs or just feeling like it's growing, because when you're not physically there, it just kind of takes its toll, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, if you think about that, I'm like, that's kind of crazy. It might be only 4 to 6 weeks at a time, sometimes longer, because after I had my baby, I did, have maternity leave and child bonding leave, which is awesome. So, and I took that time.
Yeah.
But I think it's just knowing when to take that time and be okay with it and accept that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's still hard, to make that decision. Like, you never really know if you're making the right decision, but I just try to follow what I'm feeling. And if it feels right, it's going to be okay. I hope.
Yeah. When it comes to my kids, I always think like there are some things you don't get back.
Yeah.
And so if it's between work and family wins every time.
No, you're talking about your actual kids, not your students' kids.
Yeah, I'm talking about my biological children. But I mean, and my student kids, they're part of my heart too, and I worry about them. But also, like, I'm with them 100% when I'm physically with them, and then I have to leave their burdens at work.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's just being fully present with the time that you have with them. I think that's the way that I make it feel like it's balanced, is that I just try to be 100% present whenever I can, or at least the most present that I can be anytime that I'm with my students, and the same with my family. And it feels balanced. I mean, I don't know what it looks like on the outside.
Oh, it doesn't matter if it feels balanced to you.
Yeah.
It
feels pretty good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, it does help that I'm teaching part-time right now, but those days off are not days off.
No, they're not. No, you're working. Ooh. You're working at least 3 full-time jobs right now with all the stuff you've got going on. Yeah.
Do you have like moments that you intentionally do those check-ins, or is it kind of like a daily thing, or a...
I think that's something that I should be doing more. I don't check in with myself as often, and it kind of just builds up. But I think that's the 9 in me, to ignore those
Enneagram.
signs. Oh, yeah, I totally love it. Thanks, John, for introducing me to that.
No problem.
Just has been such, I guess, a lifesaver, at least in the last year, since I've come
I
upon
love
it.
knowing that you're a 9. Oh, that's why we all love
denial.
you.
I was in denial for a while after reading, like, but if I really thought about it, which I did a lot, actually, I could see all of the 9-ness in me.
The 9 is the peacemaker.
I had to accept that. But I think that's what helped me persevere through all those things, too. It's like, I know that was important. Like, I don't know. But I'm glad I did persevere, because now we're all here.
Yeah,
I know.
And I get to work with such amazing people here in Chula Vista.
You said just a moment ago, Maya, sorry to bring it back, that when you're with your students, to be fully present with your students. And I love that, because it's so simple and it's like duh. But to be fully present isn't worrying about that next class. It's not worrying about, is my principal going to walk in right now? It's worrying about those 20 to 30 kids who are in your room and their well-being. And I think that that's super important. I know for me, when I go throughout my teaching day, I do worry about other things. I'm thinking about the next class. I'm thinking about, okay, how can I make this transition better? And things do slip through the cracks. And I've missed opportunities with students where I could encourage them, or I could do something and be a better teacher for that student, and I've missed it because I wasn't fully present. So thank you for that. Like, I'm going to take that back to my room.
I think also jumping back to the earlier point about on classroom management, that's that being present, not thinking about the program as a whole, but each child, just thinking about they're here. I should give them just as much. I agree with you guys. Thumbs up.
So I do a word of the year every year, and my word for 2020 is here. Because like in the past, I've always picked these like vision, like long-term goal type things. And I just read through the last few years, and I'm like, it just feels like so much striving. This year, I just want to be present, like in my body, with the people I'm with. Yeah.
It's hard, but
it's hard.
I find that there's just more joy in the little things, just in everything, when you try to be present in that moment. You know, a lot of those special moments happen organically in the classroom too, but if you're not present, you don't notice them, or they just don't happen.
Sure.
But I'm finding that it's those little things that have really helped drive the way that I approach teaching in my classroom, and how I plan to at least continue building my programs and moving forward with it, with each individual in mind. I know it's rough, but you know, I feel like after year 6, I kind of have a handle on my students, at least who they are. Hopefully. At least I think I do. For the most part.
They keep changing it on us, so
they
keep growing up.
It's amazing, though. It's so amazing to see them year after year.
I know, and watch their lives unfold.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is. There's nothing like it.
No, it's incredible.
That's why we have the best job.
We really do.
I was talking to somebody, and we were just talking about a particular student, and they're challenging, like, and they're in kindergarten. And someone had made a comment like, "Oh, well, like you're done after this year," and I thought like, "Well, I'll have them for 7 more years or 6 more years."
Exactly.
You know? But the great thing is I'll get to see how that student transforms.
Yes.
Exactly.
And so, being at my site this is my 5th year, my 4th graders I had since they were kindergartens, and I just stumbled upon a photo of them that their teacher gifted to me as like a thank you. And I was looking at the photo, I'm like, oh my gosh, they were so little.
I
and
know.
like they were just
Their little baby faces.
But like they're among my more creative classes, and like they're a class who I can try things with, and they respond well to it. And so it's cool like that we have that, and that we get that, you know, those 7 years if the student sticks with the school.
Yeah.
It just never ceases to amaze me, the difference between a kindergartner and a 6th grader too. It's like the amount of change that takes place while we're shepherding them through. It's incredible. Yeah.
Well, you know, something I think about is that while they're growing and changing, so are we. So it's like we're all growing together, and it's kind of, we're all taking this journey together, and you know, it's like, hopefully I'm guiding you guys in the right direction. But believe me, I want to, so like, come with me on this journey here. You know?
Yeah, we're partners.
Yeah. It's totally not like teacher student. It's like we're all doing this together.
Right.
We're all trying to be better musicians, better people, you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
So on the topic of growing, year 6 teacher Maya, if you could give year 1 teacher Maya any advice, whether it be in classroom management, musically, or just life advice, what would you give someone who's just kind of starting out their career?
Reach out, keep going, because it's going to be okay.
Great.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
You could even fit that in a tweet.
I love that. I know. Simplicity. I mean,
Or
most
a coffee
things
cup.
simple work best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, on a coffee cup.
Could put it on a coffee cup.
Say it one more time, because I
Reach out.
Oh, okay. That.
Keep going.
It's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
Love it.
That's great. Thanks so much, Maya.
Thanks, guys.
Really appreciate you coming to share. I know that you brought something for later.
But before that,
we
have a hard right turn. So we really, really appreciate everyone who's been listening and viewing this podcast. It's been really helpful and awesome, just awesome to engage with you guys on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you have you. To make this community bigger and stronger, it would be really helpful if you go on iTunes and send us a review. Send us your thoughts. Be honest. Whether it's positive or negative, we accept all thoughts. And that will help us create a better podcast, and also will help us have a bit wider community for more visibility and whatnot. Also, it's stereotypical, but it does help. Like, subscribe, all the stuff, please. Thank you.
And we will be back with Spiccato after the break. I want to take a quick break and thank my husband, Bryan, who's been working behind the scenes producing these episodes every week on all of the platforms and on time. But you need to know that he is first a financial planner for Mission Trails Financial. Mission Trails Financial is a partner that seeks to guide clients in the journey to financial success. They believe that people need a financial advisor that aims to provide strategies for success. Mission Trails Financial helps people navigate investments, tax planning, and insurance. Imagine working with an advisor who isn't tied to specific brands. Mission Trails Financial has a fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interests of their clients by providing independent, objective advice. Their mission is to help clients accomplish their financial goals. As Joe Vitale once said, a goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. Do yourself a favor and set up a time to chat with Mission Trails Financial. Visit www.missiontrailsfinancial.com or call 619-419-0238 to schedule a call. If you're in the area, they'd love to have you come by the office. You'll be glad you did. We believe that leaning on professionals is how we get ahead. Check out the program notes for more information.
Nice.
All right, Maya has brought a Spiccato. Maya, what have you got for us today?
I have got here a shoelace.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's a nice long one.
Yeah, I know. I didn't
Is
realize it was going to be this long, so it's actually quite perfect.
Is it elastic or is it not?
It's got a little bit of a stretch, but not too much.
Not too much.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the length where I think it'd be annoying to tie your shoes because your knots would be so big.
That's true.
gosh,
The
I
extra
know.
big bow.
Yeah.
Is this the Doc Martin lace?
It's not.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
Those I mean, know. I was
you
going to
need
take
some
mine
long-
off, but
Oh, do you?
That's true.
yeah, you do need different sizes. But the one I happened to find is quite long, actually.
Can we pass it around the table?
We sure can. Let's go this way.
Okay.
So
What
can
are we
do?
thinking? How can we use a shoelace in music class?
In case you're a podcast listener. So, not for classroom management.
No.
We're not doing that.
Oh my gosh, Jonathan.
I mean, anything happens, Spiccato. Anything.
man.
I have an idea.
Go for it.
So I have a giant whiteboard, and that's magnetic, and I have little clips that I can have
Okay.
stuff, and
Okay.
so you put it on the clips, or you clip it, and then you move them up and down. It can be a vocal exploration exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I'm just scientifically exploring this thing. You could have them hold it next to their ear at different lengths and
Ooh.
let it go,
Talk
and you
about
could
it, yeah.
experiment with how the pitch goes lower or higher, because it actually has a pretty decent sound when it's right up against your ear.
Talk about
So-
Nice.
I do a VAPA lab on Fridays with our gifted kids, and so we're experimenting with sound and building instruments right now. So that's where
Nice,
my
that
brain
sounds so
went.
fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. They're totally engineering right now and just
That's
having
amazing.
a blast. Yeah.
When I was
Fascinating.
in Seattle, I did see a musician at the farmer's market with it was a bucket bass.
noise.
Yeah. It was like a broomstick with
Was it a whole group, or is it just?
it was two people.
Oh, okay.
I think there was a bucket bass and I can't remember the other person.
That's
I was
legit. Did he have an electronic pickup on it?
like, no.
Okay. All right.
No.
right.
But yeah, it was just like one long string. So maybe a couple of these and make a bucket bass.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just that was the thing. But go for it.
How would
One
you
string
use
guitar.
it?
Well, I was just thinking back to our ORF level 3.
My idea.
We gotta speak
And
up, John.
this
John.
kind of
No, I didn't have an
blew
idea
my
for it.
mind. Yeah.
Okay.
So
What was
our
it?
movement instructor, Joshua Block, had us
Shout out.
doing, totally.
Shout out.
Woo! So anyway, let me go back to my thoughts.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he had us do a bunch of movement exploration activities, where we would eventually, the gist of it was be the string. In this case, be the shoelace. So
Be the shoelace. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So
however you
twirl it
move
around,
it.
and then
Mhm.
everybody has to.
twirl. I mean,
Twirl
some
around.
people might
Has
do
to
something
twirl
like
it.
this.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
they've got to
fun.
find a way to do that movement somehow.
So you pass it around the circle and have someone be the leader and manipulate
Yeah.
the string, and then everybody copies the string.
Yep.
I love that. And
That'd
you
be
know, that
really
reminds
fun.
me of that old Sesame Street doodle sketch. You remember that with the lines like, no? Extension. Make a noise to go with the string.
Ah,
Yeah. See,
there
make
you
it go.
Love it. Otherwise, like I do, you know, sometimes we'll create contour or melodic contour or even like pathways with these. Like if it just falls on the ground, you know, move in that direction or something like that. I mean, there's a lot you can do with a shoelace
string. Yeah.
or string. I mean, in this case, it's a shoelace. It could be string.
I like it.
Yeah.
I have another video.
Uh-oh.
Since you stole mine.
Sorry.
Because, you know, I had a patent on that. But
Get
whatever.
right out of your brain.
So, similar, we had a guest in our ORF chapter who wasn't teaching from an ORF style. It was actually for Doc Cross Eurythmics. And I'll share that.
David Frago.
David Frago, yes. But one of the activities we did was using something else as a means of tension, pull and release. And so just having the students interact with the tension, have one child grab one side of the string, another child grab the other, having them experiment as they pull and push to a song that has that kind of
Tension.
feeling as well. Yes.
Got it. I like it.
Yeah.
So whatever direction you go, got to maintain tension in the shoelace.
Also, it helps them with, you know, strength and balancing.
Yeah.
You could also, if you're having if you're really struggling with partners in boy and girl, use the string as like that.
There you go.
Both grab
Awesome.
onto the same string.
But
Yep.
rule number 6.
Cooties don't exist.
Well,
Cooties don't.
Let me know when that starts working in your room because they still roll their eyes at me.
Yeah.
Like I'm sticking with holding hands is not weird. I will not make it weird.
I've used that and it's worked.
Yeah.
Cooties
thing
don't
is-
exist as a
Cooties
word.
don't exist.
The weird part is that some kids, like, they don't know what cooties are.
Oh.
It's kind of like fading out.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it is.
I think the
2020 now,
concept is-
John. So
Yeah.
Cooties,
Yeah.
it's a thing in the 90s, bro.
That's true.
Bro.
30 years
No,
ago.
it's not 90s, man.
Stop
It was a
it.
while back.
30
Yeah.
years ago.
Cooties was also my parents.
Okay.
Just saying.
Sorry. Anyway,
Well done, guys. All right, we do have a round of the week as well. Round of the week.
Yes.
Maya, what round are we singing?
We are going to sing Coffee.
Oh, wait, it's
It's right here.
here.
Ooh,
Yep.
there we go.
Okay, starting pitch.
I don't know.
Can I look? Can I look
Yeah,
in with you?
let's share.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Ready? C-O-F-F-E-E. Too much coffee can be bad for you and me. Not for children is this famous Turkish drink. Makes them hazy and unable then to think. If you should try one cup, you won't give coffee up. Okay.
Nailed it.
Let's try
One more
again.
time.
Let's do it
Yes.
again.
Makes them daisy or hazy?
We
Dizzy.
have dizzy.
Dizzy makes them dizzy,
Oh,
and
dizzy or
if you
dizzy?
should
Dizzy.
try or buy.
Let's try.
Try,
I'm
okay.
at my B.
Okay, cool. One more time.
All right.
C-O-F-F-E-E. Too much coffee can be bad for you and me. Not for children is this steamy Turkish drink. Makes them dizzy and unable then to think. If you should try one cup, you won't give coffee up.
Clearly, we haven't had enough coffee.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, so how we splitting?
Can we do, can I just join this? Whoa.
There you go.
Half,
So-
and then you
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Can we flip it over so Mark can see the words this time?
No, it's fine.
Okay, you got it.
No, I mean, it's going to be terrible, but it'll be fine. Just read it upside down, read the music upside
Be
down. It's fine.
positive.
Be positive. It's going to be great.
I'm positive it's gonna be terrible.
Can we,
Together first time, then
can-
rounds.
Yeah, let's do it together. And then
Together one
you
more
guys go
time.
first and
Okay,
we'll go
together
second.
one more time, then
And
we
then-
split.
Yes.
Got it. And then us first, or you first?
Say, let them go.
You
You go
first.
first. Yeah.
You first, then us.
Okay.
Maya's number
Yeah.
one.
Maya's leading here.
Maya's
All right,
number
everybody
one.
together.
Sure.
C-O-F-F-E-E. Too much coffee can be bad for you and me. Not for children is this steamy Turkish drink. Makes them dizzy and unable then to think. If you should try one cup, you'll not give coffee up. C-O-F-F-E-E. Too much coffee can be bad for you and me. Not for children is the steamy Turkish drink. Makes them dizzy and unable then to think. not for children, makes the steaming turkey and drink, makes them dizzy and unable then to think. If you should try 1 cup, you'll not give coffee up. Yeah. I think it's time for more coffee.
Yeah.
More coffee.
Thanks for listening, you guys.
Maya, where can people find you, follow you, and get to know you better?
Yes.
Ooh, can we put a link in?
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
we'll
yes,
put your
yes,
handle
yes.
in. So where
Okay,
can people follow
totally.
you? You got a Twitter?
I do.
Should we do research right now? On-site research?
Yeah, totally. I know you have it on there.
Yes.
Sorry,
So,
I'm
while we load
really
this-
trying to get
No
onto that
worries.
social media thing.
So while we load this, Zoe, where can we find you on
I'm
the social medias?
At Ms. Kumagai.
I am at Mrs. Pridmore or at Finny Vappa. I tweet classroom updates at Finny Vappa.
I'm at Mr. Keehmer.
On both Twitter
On
and
Twitter.
the Instagrams, I am Mr. Seligman, MrSeligman.
And you can find Chaotic Harmony on Instagram and Twitter
And Facebook.
and Facebook.
All right, thank you, John. You can find me at Maya Diaz Music, and I will do much better at posting.
And if you're on Twitter and you want to find classroom ideas, we tweet our classroom ideas with the hashtag CVESD arts in case you want to see what's up. You'll find art stuff there too, but if you're looking for lesson plan ideas.
Great idea.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Maya,
Thanks.
thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank
Maya.
you for
Maya.
having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Until next time.
The Chaotic Harmony podcast is a joint project between Crystal Pridmore, Jonathan Seligman, Zoe Kumagai, and Marc Keehmer. You can find us online at chaoticharmonyclassroom.com. You can email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com and let us know what you think. Give us feedback about what you would like to hear in future episodes. We're on all the socials. Find us on facebook.com/chaoticharmonyclassroom. You can find us on Twitter at CHClassroom, Instagram at Chaotic Harmony Classroom, and you can even find our episodes on YouTube. Chaotic Harmony is the name of our channel. Special thanks to Bryan Pridmore for his help with production and equipment. www.pridmoria.com.
Alright. We're about ready. And that one's recording, audio's recording.
Audio's recording.
You're gonna
Good
be
thing we got
Perfect.
that.
Like if anyone hears a serial
Alright.
killer, I think it's gonna be you. Not doing yourself any favors,
Just
John.
naming it now.
Just calling it.
Calling it 2020.
2020.
You're on, you guys.
All right.